Greetings, greetings. As Jesus was continuing with his ministry in Jerusalem, there came a time when he visited a certain lady called Martha. Join me once again as we see how Martha hosted Jesus Christ and what were her priorities during the visit when Jesus was in her home. Jesus visits Martha and Mary in Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42. The Bible says, as Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. The Lord said to her, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. There is a time in our lives when we are overprivileged to host people in our homes. Sometimes we are privileged to host men of God. We are privileged to host bishops, priests. In African traditional society, it is a culture where we are required to be hospitable. Most people have blamed Martha to do this, but I think it is what we all do. When you have visitors at your home, you're always worried about the details. You always want to see them comfortable. You want to measure up to their expectations. You wish to please each and every person that has come. You serve and want to do right thing when you have hosted people in your home. When Jesus Christ and his disciples came to visit her, she was making sure that she hosts them in a good way, like how as a woman in a house should be a hospitable person. So Mary and Martha, of course, they both loved Jesus. And Jesus, as he was on his way to Jerusalem, he decided, imagine in all homes, to bypass Martha's home and Mary's home. But Mary decides to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to what Jesus was talking about, or what Jesus was sharing while in that home. And Martha becomes so busy with chores, make sure that everything has to be put in order so that he can serve Jesus better. So to me, both of them, they were trying to serve Jesus Christ the best way they knew. Everybody, both Martha and Mary, they thought the way they were serving, it was their best way. But then Martha feels that how Mary is serving Jesus is inferior compared to what she was doing, because has involved of meals, dinner preparations, and all that. So Martha does not realize in her desires to serve Jesus Christ, she's actually neglecting her guest. And then Mary, so to this one, I learned that the personal attention that we give to people or that we give to our guests is important than the comfort that we try to provide. Sometimes people come into our homes, sometimes people come to us when they need comfort. They need the comfort of attention. Not all of them that they need the comfort of dinner and juices and the foods that we go ahead to prepare. So Martha was really, really too busy trying to serve Jesus, and spending time with him was less. So in her way of serving, she was becoming self-serving, because at that time Jesus was not noticing what exactly Martha was doing, but he was more appreciative to what Mary was doing. So in this, as children of God, what do we learn? We learn to set priorities. Jesus is telling her, yes, I don't blame you. What you're doing is the right thing to do. You are a minister in a church, what you're doing by ushering people in the church, by making them comfortable to sit, by visiting the sick, by visiting the widow, by taking care of the orphans, it is good. But the best way is of Mary's, how he did it, to sit down and listen to what Jesus was teaching, because Mary discovered that when you spend time with Jesus, you serve him better. So how are you serving Jesus? Are you serving Jesus, or are you self-serving? Are you too busy self-serving that it has robbed you of the time to spend with Jesus? It is possible for us to be caught up in the details that makes us forget the main reasons. The main reasons why we are to serve is to first sit and listen and learn and understand the person that we are going to serve. And this is what Mary did. So even as believers, we need to take proper time to listen, to be at Jesus' feet, and then we get a way of how to serve him better. I see Jesus does not blame Martha what he was doing. And I'm not saying that I'm blaming you on what you're doing, but he says what Martha was doing was good, but what Mary was doing was best. So if I were you, brethren, I would choose to do the best. What is to do the best is to serve at Jesus' feet. Let us listen to what Jesus is teaching us to do. Then we go out and we serve better. Shalom, brethren.